Press Secretary Robert Gibbs engaging in a war of words with Fox News contributor Stephen Hayes. The two of them battled it out, get this, on Twitter last night for about 2 hours of back and forth. A very new media, you might say, of both of them. Hayes suggested in a tweet that the small business bill that is before Congress would not actually improve hiring if they were to pass it. Secretary Gibbs fired back his response, and this is what it looked like. Attention at Stephen Hayes. He then linked to an article from USA Today that reports that businesses are actually waiting for the bill to pass before they do any hiring, but the fight did not end there, and we're going to show you more of it. Richard Socarides is with us. He was a special assistant to President Bill Clinton. Matt Lewis is a conservative columnist with PoliticsDaily.com. Gentlemen, welcome. Good to have both of you with us. I guess this is the way we battle things out these days, huh, Matt?
It is. It is. I mean, look, first of all, in a way it's cool because you're right, it is so new media-y. But I also have to say, I think if a press secretary for a president of the United States is engaging in a Twitter battle with a conservative pundit, there's no way the press secretary can win. I mean, by virtue of engaging in that Twitter debate, I think it's probably a loser for him, but it is quite interesting, and it's a sign of the times.
You know, I think it was great that he did it. I mean, I remember that when I worked in the White House, which was not that long ago, from 93 to 99, that at the beginning of that time, email was new at the White House, and the notion that people sat in front of their computers all day and answered their emails right away was pretty revolutionary. So I think it's great. I mean, this is the way we're talking to each other, and I'm sure Matt has got a Twitter account, right?
You know, it's
sure
funny, I do.
I think we all do. Let's take a look at this back and forth so everybody can get a better sense of what we're talking about here. Let's pull these up. This from the press secretary. So you oppose cutting taxes on and increasing loans that are available to small businesses. Hayes comes back, no, I'm for tax cuts, cap gains, payroll, and income, so that small business owners can spend their own money rather than see loans coming to them from the government. And then Hayes tweeted just minutes ago, keeping it going, he said this: did the White House discount temporary census jobs when they boosted employment numbers? So they're still going back this morning after these employment numbers came back about the underlying figures here. But all of this really goes to, Richard, and let me go back to you, because the argument here and the reason that this is so heated is because the president is about to come out with a plan. Right now we've got a jobless recovery. We have a very tough situation going on. The pressure is on the White House. They've been meeting all week. They're going to come out with a new plan at 10 o'clock. What do you expect we're going to hear?
Well, I actually think the numbers this morning, the unemployment numbers, even though the actual number ticked up just a little bit, that the overall numbers were pretty good. I think it was actually very good news for them that things are not getting worse. They're, in fact, getting slightly better over time. So I think that the numbers today are very encouraging, and I think the market is responding accordingly. I think you'll see today, but probably more importantly next week at the president's press conference and his trip to Ohio, I believe, next week, unveiling a series of economic packages. They were working late into the evening on it last night. It'll include some tax cuts for small business. It'll include some additional spending. It'll include, you know, a host of things that they're going to try to throw everything at it that they can think of. What happened, though, in this back and forth with the press secretary, I think really shows this amazingly politicized environment in which we're having this debate. Yeah, I really wish we could depoliticize in some way.
But you know what? I think it doesn't, Richard. And excuse me for jumping in, because the crux of their discussion is how to help small business. And what it really comes down to is whether or not putting money back in their pockets, giving them some reassurances about how they're going to, you know, be taxed in the future and what they're going to have to pay for health care every time they hire a brand new employee. This really does go to the crux of the issue here about how to fix this economy. Matt, a quick thought on that from you.
Yeah, well, look, I think you're right. I mean, this isn't superficial. This is substantive. This is about the economy. I think that on one hand, conservatives have won. I mean, here we have a Democratic president. It's not quite Bill Clinton saying the era of big government is over, but they are talking about tax cuts. But the problem is that Obama is bragging about cleaning out a splinter in one eye when leaving a mote in the other. I mean, what he's going to propose, it appears, are capital gains tax cuts on businesses only when they're being sold, complicated tax holidays, complicated loan programs that nobody really wants and probably won't ever apply for. Meanwhile, they're still proposing the largest tax hike in American history. But at least maybe it's a good sign that Obama is at least trying to appear to be a tax
you know, really not the case, the largest tax cut in American history.
Quick response, Richard.
I mean, extending tax cuts for the rich is a bad idea, and that is what we're talking about when Matt says the largest tax rate in history. I mean, we are going to roll back these tax cuts for the rich.
The people who provide jobs and hire people.
Well, listen,
I'm sorry,
it is
guys,
not.
I gotta go.
It is not a good economic
debate.
idea.
We're going to be talking about it in the weeks to come because this is the hottest topic on the plate right now. Richard Socarides, thank you very much. Matt Lewis, thanks you guys. Good to have you with us.
We had President Obama coming up. Mike Pence will follow up, so more reaction on that.